What is up, everybody? you guys got in my head. Let me do it again.
No pressure, Nicco.
You guys got in my head. Let me do it again.
No pressure.
You guys
Get
got
it
in my
right.
head. You got in my head. What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the CRUBCAST, your weekly dose of controlled chaos where every single week it gets worse. That's right, I am All Hail Buckets. My brand was not mentioned in the last episode, so I'm mentioning it now. I am also here with the man that did that, the culprit, Chris Mykonos fan. Chris, say hi.
I don't respect you or myself. Hello.
You sure don't. I'm here with Sean Wolf KO's on. Say hi.
Hi. Hello.
And I'm also here with Kevin the Golden Bolt. Say hi.
Hi, everyone not on YouTube, because you didn't get introduced a moment ago. Hi.
Greetings to you.
Seems like some of us just leave out arbitrarily some details sometimes, huh?
Yeah, huh.
Well, you know,
Glass houses, my friend.
Speaking of details
What is
having been left out, we here at Crub like to make sure our viewers and our Crub subscribers do not feel left out. Specifically by providing the opportunity to get in touch with us and give us some of your 2026 predictions. That's right, folks. We are here to hear from you and provide this forum. So put some more of your predictions in the comments below for this year. If you're watching at the beginning of the year, if you're watching at the end of the year, tell us what our viewers could have done better. And be nice.
critique our audience. Thank you. Audience critique. Yeah, God. So we have a list here that we put in. We put a separate room in our Discord server, which you can join for free at crub.org/join, where everybody could put in as many predictions as they want. We did curate them down because we had about, I think, like 100 predictions total. And that's a lot for an episode of the podcast. So we cut them down to ones we thought.
Guys for doing that.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. We cut them down to ones that either didn't duplicate from other people's posts or weren't too similar, and that we felt we had something we could add to or discuss or react to with some substance to it. So if some of yours didn't make the list, it's your fault.
Yeah,
I want to make that very clear.
Honestly. Yeah.
So I'm going to start. If you guys see one in our list here that piques your brain, if you want to throw it out there as we go through these, we'll kind of go through these in order. If not. But we have one from the Crazy Even here, who starts with the boldest one, according to him. Switch 2 will see a permanent price cut, especially if holiday sales were tepid in 2025. That is not going to happen.
This is the 2025 predictions.
No. This is 2026. He's predicting that in the coming year, the Switch 2 will get cheaper.
No.
It is not going to happen.
Yeah.
With the way that everything is with technology right now, with the RAM shortages and the general semiconductor shortages that lead to everything else in tech being 10 times the price already. No. Yeah. We looked at our individual RAM prices yesterday. And Nicco's went up 7 times. I spent $55 on 2 sticks of RAM in Christmas 2024. They are now $270 or something like that.
Heck, Moriarty, Phil Crubber, looked up what the Switch 2 uses, and I think it's like $400 for what they put into a Switch 2 component price. Like that's the price of the console, basically, at that point.
At the end of December, Nintendo lost $14 billion in shareholder value because people realized how expensive the Switch 2's manufacturing was going to get. Mm-hmm. So Switch 2 is not getting cheaper. It is most likely getting more expensive.
Yeah.
That's a pretty easy one.
The more interesting pickle there, I suppose, is will Nintendo be the first to initiate the price raise, or will they let someone else fall on that sword and then fall in line like a week or two behind and go, okay, PlayStation made the first move. A PS5's $1,000. So now a Switch 2 is like $800 or $900, right? Like, Who does that first is more where
Microsoft already did, is also like Sony did raise their prices technically.
Yeah. True. We have a very US centric view here. I suppose we should also stress, right? Because like other territories.
Brody's not here today.
Yeah, I know in some I think European countries, PS5 went up within the last half year, right?
It went up to subsidize the tariff costs for the US consumer, essentially, because a lot of the audience is here, and there is no other market for consoles in Europe broadly. Like the Switch and Switch 2 do have success there, but that is Sony territory and always has been. So they did the Monopoly thing of, well, you're going to buy it anyway, which sucks. We did have a counter prediction to that from Paging Sai, who said the Switch 2 will get more expensive at $500 or $550 for the base model. That might even be generous. We don't know.
Yeah, that's generous.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if it hits like 600, to be honest with you.
It's not going to be fun. And I'll go through Paging Sai's other prediction here, which was that the Steam machine is going to come out at $1,000, which I think might also be cheap.
Yeah, that sounds kind of cheap.
Because the thing with the Steam machine is it's a computer, and if you priced it anything but market value, people will buy it and use it as a computer. And that is not what Valve wants with the Steam machine. They want it to be a gaming system. So if you have people buying your subsidized cost PC console hybrid thing and then not using the storefront where you take 30% of every dollar, you're not subsidizing the cost anymore. You're just eating the cost.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one, the Steam machine is going to be an interesting scenario because I am not sure how that's going to come out affordably now in the current ecosystem.
Oh God, yeah.
If at all, they might just sit on it, honestly.
I bet they're happy they didn't actually announce a price with that thing by the day.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I was a little confused by that at first, but now I'm like, that makes sense. But also maybe you just shouldn't have said anything about this actually.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Not that they could have saw it coming. They didn't watch our predictions episode, so how would they have known, right? But
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because we have the rumor of Half-Life 3 being a launch title for the Steam machine or launching alongside the Steam machine since it will also be on regular PCs.
Yeah.
And, you almost have to wonder at a point if they just kind of give up the goat and just they try it, but they know that Half-Life 3 is mostly going to be played and always was mostly going to be played on not Steam machines, right?
Right. It's going to be played on everyone's PC.
Timing all of that felt like Valve just wanting to kind of have like a moment, I guess, right? I don't mean that in like a condescending way, but just kind of like we aligned everything and everything's working out and look at us, we're here, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah, especially with like seeing like Xbox kind of taking the, nosedive it has with like its consoles and whatnot. It's like, all right, let's get the jump on this now because I feel like the next thing that Xbox is going to do is going to be something PC related. So it's like, let's get the jump on this now while we can.
Yeah.
So at this point, maybe they should just let go of that idea. And whenever these things can come out, they come out. But maybe the synergy strategy isn't necessarily worth clinging to at this point,
Yeah.
Right.
M is of the opinion that in general, it may be a little bit hyperbolic in my opinion, but there's pretty good reason to be hyperbolic. He said multiple times that he thinks console gaming is now dead because of how the RAM prices especially are going to affect things. And
fair to him, he did stress that he had a very doomer take, so he's aware that it's doomer.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you in the sense of like, but that could be right though.
Yeah, like it could be right. I think maybe I'm more of an optimist. I think that these manufacturers tend to find a way. And I think the PS5, for example, like having, I don't know what RAM the PS5 uses, but I'm sure it's, much older than the Switch 2's mobile RAM chips. So they might not be as in vogue, even if they're not being manufactured to the same capacity. It's going to be really interesting because Nintendo's in a really weird spot now. Where they need that system in households and they can't really just do what Sony's going to do at this point and say that things are going to be on PS5 and PS6 if or when that comes out in 7 years. Sony can get away with it because they haven't announced anything. All the Nintendo Switch 2 games that are coming out from this point on Switch 2 only probably cannot be made for Switch 1 because that thing cannot handle them. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they handle this coming year. They'll probably be fine because Nintendo's fans and to be fair, PlayStation's fans, they're all kind of Disney fans. They will just consume. So, I think there's a breaking point for price, but I think also if everything else gets more expensive, if you have the money for it, you're going to spend $1,000 on a PS5 or whatever. It's just that it's going to become more of a like a class system in gaming. Almost like,
you remember even when the Switch 2 was coming out, there were people going on to YouTubers, right? And being like, oh, look at you flaunting your wealth. You got a Switch 2. So you're probably right about that. It probably will be a thing where it's like, oh, you got to Switch 2 in 2026 and I can't even afford my rent this month. Like, go die. That'll probably start happening,
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Well, now
So
that we're
other
thinking
than that,
about
Mrs.
that,
Lincoln.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a really upper.
Other than that,
opener.
Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
We have a few relevant places we could go. So I'm going to swing us to one
Throw
that
a
has nothing
dartboard.
to do with anything.
Yeah.
What?
Throw out the dartboard. Go nuts.
Oh, I thought you said Concord and I got distracted. Sorry. I was like, ooh, where?
Oh,
Get up on the mic says one that I'm not sure I understand, but I want to float it. The DC expanded universe, and I assume that means the movies, not the comics, starts to lose everybody. And I'm like, did they have
that's
that
why I
many
put that one
people
there.
in the first place?
Yeah, is anybody really on board to begin with?
like, there's the
I
James
think it's
Gunn
now-
verse, but
I think it's now just the DCU. I think he means the DCU because that is what the James Gunn DC verse is, and almost all of the current DC stuff going forward is in that universe.
okay.
Right.
The reason I put it there was because I would find it interesting to see it start to lose people because there's only one movie coming out from DC next year, as far as I know, and it's Supergirl.
Oh, right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there might be Creature Commandos season 2. I know that's in production. I don't know how you'd lose people that quick, essentially, I think. Because I think the people that engaged with Peacemaker are a pretty substantive amount of people. And, they weren't super satisfied with how it ended. And I wasn't super satisfied with how that ended either. Just because, not to spoil anything, but there's some cliffhangery things that aren't going to be resolved for several years. It's the Marvel scenario. And that's a little frustrating because I really liked everything leading up to that moment. But, we're 2 years away from the next Superman. That's 2027. And then whatever they go from there, we don't know. But it'd be hard to lose people, I think, because they're all independently absorbed pieces of fiction that then do tie into each other in ways that Marvel really didn't do well ever, in my opinion. Because in Marvel, they did weave this universe where you have to consume everything, and that's what exhausted people by the end. You could avoid, I guess, Doctor Strange if you just knew who Doctor Strange was. You could get away with it, but you couldn't skip, I don't know, anything beyond that in Ant-Man and survive as a fan.
Yeah.
I think if I was the devil's advocate, I think the way it could maybe start to lose people is if they start going like announcement crazy and start talking about all these grand ambitions and plans in a very Marvel-y way, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would
Which
be
they have done.
Have they done that already? I don't pay attention
Kind
to
of.
DC. Not
They announced a couple things, and someone in our Twitch chat, we do stream these at twitch.tv/crub_official every Tuesday from around 6:30 p.m. Eastern to whenever we're done.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned that Lanterns is also a TV show coming out this year. So they have one movie and at least one TV show, which
They also have
is not.
Lobo coming out.
Is Lobo coming out this year? They announced it.
I think it's next year, from what I remember, 2027.
I think 2027 is the year that DC is like trying to make the year for them.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, is that part of your 2026 predictions?
No, mine are way worse. In all honesty,
Right.
Anyway, sorry, Chris. What were you saying a moment ago?
Oh, that was basically the thought, though, right?
Okay.
It's like they just kind of start swinging too much to things, and just I think I don't think it's like a conscious thing, but I think there's probably a lot of like carry over Marvel fatigue just in terms of like people's movie going habits in general. So I think if DC kind of starts swinging too close to that batting average of release cadence, announcement, constantly having to always be on your mind, I think it will tire people out. So that's like, if I was the devil's advocate, what Mike was maybe getting toward here, like I think there is a world where the feel good vibe of like Superman and Peacemaker just kind of immediately washes away, because it's just like, oh god, this is a whole other ecosystem I have to pay attention to now, right? Like I gotta reinvest and this just never ends. But that's just my personal feelings. I don't know how many people feel that way at large.
Yeah, it's interesting because like where they're going with it. I'm not a huge comic guy, but once I found out what they were doing, I looked into it, and it's a really cool, interesting way that they are moving along with it. But I don't think you need to consume anything besides Superman 1 to understand Superman 2 when that comes out next year.
That'd be nice.
That's kind of like what I think that it seems like since James Gunn was involved in the Marvel universe, he kind of, you would hope, understands that element of do your own thing, and the things I need you to hit, here are the story beats, you know?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, I think.
Yeah.
But there's also a building process because, everyone seemed to really like the new Superman movie. And also, I think someone in chat also just mentioned this as I was thinking of it. There probably is some leftover fatigue from the Snyderverse stuff.
Right, yeah.
So you have to build goodwill. And from what I've seen, it feels like he's been building goodwill outside of maybe Peacemaker ending the way that it did.
Yeah.
But we'll hit up on Get Up on the Mic's other one here, because this is one that is a quick one, I think. This is a wrestling one. Will Ospreay will win the AEW World Championship in London against MJF. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. As long as he's healthy. As long as he's healthy. He's like,
cool.
he's a British dude. He's been out for a few months with a neck injury. He had surgery. He's coming back soon, probably. It's very much like they're going to want their London boy to win in Wembley. Like, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah. He's one of a few that went from like a real skinny guy to like super jacked. And yeah, that's important context, I feel.
And also, he just has like that. He has a good aura to him.
He's got aura.
Like, he's very, very... Yeah, go ahead.
They usually play him as the heel also, right?
Yeah.
He plays himself as the heel. So that feels like a place where you go
plays
and
like
lose.
a piece of trash kind of dude. Like, they actually had a match at Wembley last year, or 2 years ago, which was... MJF was being the foreign American heel in London sort of thing. And so Ospreay won the American championship, which was not what it was called, but that's what,
Gotcha. I could see basically that playing out as a complete outsider who has barely any familiarity, right? That just kind of feels like it writes itself. Yeah.
Yeah. They've been a good place story-wise. There's a lot of people that could really do well in the next year or so. It's been really cool seeing them kind of get their bearings again. So I could definitely see that. Going through the list here, I want to throw one that I think Nicco has thoughts on, but I got to find it. There's not really many that I think Nicco will engage with, but I like this one for Nicco. Remaster/remake of classic PlayStation series revealed.
Oh, a classic. One everyone has been bounding on the doors for.
That is from vid editor Logan.
Man, well, it depends on what you define as a classic, to be honest with you, because...
Like, are we talking a good game or like an old game?
No. Well, no, that's the thing. Like, what point is it a classic? Like, is it 10 years, 15, 20?
Well, it's been 11, Sean. It's been 11.
That's why I'm asking you. I'm asking, is that a classic?
No, Sean, it's been 11. You understand. It's been a long time, been a long, lonely time with no Bloodborne.
So is it a classic?
Of course it is.
That's all I need.
Of course it's a
classic. Now, do you think remaster or remake? Because if they remastered it after this long, I think people would be just upset. But if they remake it, they'll change something, and then people will be upset.
Dude, I don't care what people say. I want them to just get rid of the blood vial farming thing and just make the same game again. Run faster. That's it.
So
I don't want no extensions. No Bloodborne 2, nothing set in the universe. We don't need any more of it. It's perfect as is. We just need it to be more playable in the year of our Lord 2026.
Here's a thought that I'll throw out here for food for thought. Do you think, Nicco, or either of you other ones, but mainly Nicco, do you think that I will beat Bloodborne on stream before they announce anything about Bloodborne?
Oh, yes. Big time. Yeah. Okay. Big time. I don't think anything's ever coming, honestly. And I don't blame them for just leaving the GOAT be, to be fair.
Unrelated, I guess, semi-plug. Nicco and I have been doing a thing on my Twitch at the Golden Bolt. We had just started. I'm playing 2 Souls games at the same time, and I'm alternating every time I die or if someone in chat subscribes or stuff. And so we're not doing Bloodborne yet. That's the thing, Bloodborne has to also hit the wheel, because there's going to be a wheel that we spin.
But this is how confident I am in the fact that it will simply never be acknowledged again.
All right. Well, we have to remember to clip that, because that's going to be a fun one to see if that goes completely wrong. Gosh, do any of you have ones that stick out from this list before we?
There's one specific one.
Oh yeah, is it that one? Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, the one about will Sean finally play Kingdom Hearts by Azure? Yes.
Yeah, the answer is no.
You will finally play Kingdom Hearts this year, Sean? You sure?
There's no finally because it's already happened.
I don't know.
Never happening.
They put them all into like one collection, like the Verum Rex collection or whatever. They made it pretty easy for you.
Yeah, it's all in one for like $10 now. That's how valuable those games are, Sean.
Yeah, the Noctis Returns bundle, the Ignacio Noki bundle.
God, the Noctis Returns bundle.
Yeah,
gonna-
he's from like the third one, right?
I'm going to hit on one here from Azure as well. The other one I have here written from them. Sony will release a lot of first-party titles this year, more than what some of us might expect. That is vague. We don't have a number there. Currently on the slate, I only know this because I have a similar prediction in our next video, which is our 2025 predictions, or maybe that one already came out. I'm not sure.
That one did, but our
26.
2026 predictions are coming up.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Sorry. Whatever. On the third of our 3-part series of videos that you might see, one of my predictions involves Sony first-party or published releases, and I currently have them slated for 4.
Soros,
George Soros.
I'll take
Wolverine,
I'll
right?
take the over. I'll take the over on 4.
Marvel
the other
Tokon,
Tokon.
and I forget what the 4th one was. I didn't write these down by name. MLB The Show,
Oh,
because of course.
Oh, that's the thing.
So there's 4 currently. There will definitely be 1 or 2 more, and maybe an indie here or there. But that might be it. Oh, and Marathon, I guess, because Bungie's publishing Marathon, but that is Sony.
oh, right, Marathon.
Speaking of,
Yeah. No, Kevin, you read it.
Go ahead.
Speaking of Marathon, Crazy Even's other prediction here, Marathon performs worse than Concord, but stays up for maybe a month longer.
So that's like maybe a 6-week prediction from the Crazy.
God.
I don't know.
Is Marathon out? Is it coming out?
It's out in a few weeks sometime.
Like February or
really
March,
care.
I think.
Yeah. It says a
Any,
lot that we don't know.
Any chance of it getting delayed?
Not again. It already was.
Oh, okay.
It was delayed to the point that the Bungie executives lost the bonus that they were trying to rush the game out to get, because that was the last bonus they got before Sony could get rid of them. Was the thing as part of the buyout deal.
That
Absolutely insane.
that brings about the mind a situation where it needs another delay, but they won't let it delay. So if that is the case, I think that would potentially stagger this into another Concordian situation, right? Where it's like that shouldn't have come out still, but they needed it to, and in the attempt to try to right that ship as they set it off to sea, it just sinks pretty quickly. I'm thinking, they probably try and make that last like half a year at the absolute bare minimum, but I want even to be right, just because it'd be funny, aside from all the people who wasted years of their lives and lose their jobs over this. But in the vacuum, it'd be kind of funny.
I don't know. Sorry, Sean, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say for the bit, it'd be funny. But go on.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how you perform worse than Concord, like in an objective measurement sense, like empirically. Because Concord sold, I think they estimated fewer than 10,000 copies.
What?
Or something like that.
There are going to be Harvard Business Review MBA business cases about Concord, for certain.
Yeah. The only game that I think is funnier than Concord currently, in terms of massive failures, is Splitgate. Because that's because as of the time of recording, the Splitgate official Twitter is now tweeting, "Don't look at our player counts. We're not mad.
We're fun. Just come try us, guys. The water's fine."
Player counts don't show
To be
fun.
fair, it is a fun game.
What is your player count?
Less than the name of the developer, 1047.
They're at around 200 on Steam after the relaunch, down from like 2,200 at peak.
That's wild.
Not that
so the reason I say, go ahead. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, not that I enjoy getting real into like player count numbers, right? But for a game like that where you need a lot of people flowing in and out of matches, it's not a lot.
Yeah, the reason I say Concord's funnier is A, the "we're not mad" posting from it, and B, the fact that this game was announced as "we're different than other shooters, we're not your dad's shooter," and it had Imagine Dragons playing. To say nothing about the hat the guy wore and the awful speech he gave that he spent a few $100,000 in marketing money to get on stage to do. It's the fact that they Morbius relaunched it. They relaunched Splitgate. They spent 6 months redoing Splitgate from not the ground up, literally, but pretty much from the ground up to make it Splitgate 1 instead of 2. And even like the one credit I'll give them is Splitgate 1's servers. They shut them down, but they made them fully peer-to-peer compatible. So they unlocked everything. So they were like, hey, look, this game is dead, but we're going to go in and finish some of the maps we never finished. We're going to do some cool stuff with it. which is kind of a nice thing. But the fact that they spent 6 months and probably another $30 million on Concord, on Splitgate, for it to launch exactly the same way we all expected it to, I think that's funnier than Concord still.
I've checked the temperature with some people who gave it a chance, right? And the people who are like, oh, I wasn't as big on Splitgate 2, but now it's like actually kind of good and fun, you know? Like people seem happy that I have tried it. And that kind of makes it even more sad / funny in a sense. Cause it's like, I'm not going to say the hat thing tanked the entire game, but boy, like what a quick way to just think about this game every single time it ever comes up. Right. Like it definitely didn't help. And
the battle royale is really probably more than anything the killer.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's the room of video games right now, in my opinion.
I mean,
like looking at it like director wise included, it's the room of video games.
I could see that because I mean, given we know how that guy has his money, unlike Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
I could see it a little bit. Anyway, to the subject of Marathon v Concord, I don't know how you do worse than Concord as a $40 game. No. I don't think it's really that possible because just on Bungie players alone, it will have more players than Concord and the beta for Concord ever had. So I don't know. It might still shut down quickly, but this is Bungie's last chance at having any autonomy. So I think they're going to try and fight for everything they can. Rare situation where you make the acquiring company, the big conglomerate mega corporation, the good guy too, but somehow Bungie pulled that one off.
Yep. I'm proud of them, I guess. I can't wait for them to make a documentary about this, like in 2027.
Yeah.
That'll be my next
prediction.
hope
it's good. Hope it's good.
Gosh.
I don't really care if it's good.
I hope the documentary's good.
I hope everything's good, to be honest with you. I always hope
we need some bad
good.
stuff. We need some bad stuff.
I need to feel good about myself. I need some bad things.
There are some things I hope are bad,
if everything's good, then you get a pluribus situation where everything's good and you feel nothing.
This specific one, I hope it's good.
That's right, Carol. Well, Frankenmuth has a sad one here. It's one that I don't feel is completely impossible, and that's what makes it sad. Yeah. Level 5, the developer, will close completely after their not Yokai Watch game. Now, I don't even know which one that is. I think there's the Deca Police, maybe what Frankenmuth's referring to here. But Level 5 has been all over the place as a company, but in recent years has seemingly just been coasting by in a how are you even still functioning way. And it's fascinating. You have their studio head or whatever coming out every other week like, this AI stuff's pretty good, like 80-90% of our development's AI now, and you're just like, what are you even saying, sir? Every time one of their games is about to come out for a long time, it delays like a month before.
Yep.
Then they did squeak out that Fantasy Life game, which by all accounts was fantastic and everyone who played it loved it, and it kind of took off, right? So it's like there is some element of, oh, maybe they can scrape by, but then you go back and look at them again and they're like, oh, well, it just feels like you could flip a coin and Level 5 goes or dies, which is a shame because Level 5 has been around for a long time, right? Developed a lot of games people love, like Dark Cloud, Dragon Quest 8, Yokai Watch, right? Like Fantasy Life, like a lot of good stuff there. And I think that's what makes it very sad to me, is that it doesn't have to be this way, and we don't really understand why it is this way, other than maybe there's a management issue based on the continual weird comments from the studio head.
Some kind of management issue.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you vibe code. I don't know how you AI vibe code for years and then say, oh, look, we're going to get rid of KJ Inafune, and suddenly the game is finishable. Because that also happened during that whole thing, because they bought Concept, which is why Fantasy Life was theirs.
They merged with Concept. Oh my god, I forgot it. I think they did split apart, right?
Concept, the first company on everybody's mind that everybody knows what they do.
The developers of Mighty Number 9, Nicco.
Concept. Former big fiasco of a company acquired by apparently another fiasco of a company. Mm-hmm. There are a couple here that we can kind of go through rapid fire.
Yes.
Going back to the DC discussion here, not directly, but vibe-wise, TK Hubworld said that the Wolverine game will set up a game based on one of the Avengers. which to go into the universe concept. I think the rumor was that would lead to an X-Men thing from Insomniac if the plan hasn't yet changed.
I was going to say, if they're still going to make games.
Well, Insomniac will still make games. The question is whether they'll keep making Marvel. And the money probably says yes, but we also now know about their financial, like the licensing fees that they owe to the Marvel, to Marvel for the games. And it's not insignificant. So there's a question of how much money those games actually truly generate. And we're never going to know the answer because Hollywood accounting and how many consoles were sold because of Spider-Man and all that stuff. But I if you count the X-Men as the Avengers, I could see that.
If the person who predicted it does, but I don't consider X-Men and the Avengers in the same. I do see it either going X-Men route or doing a little cameo with Spider-Man to kind of like lean into that a little bit. Like not even like Spider-Man showing up, but more so like you found like a web and like Magneto's helmet's in it or something like that, you know? Something like that.
I mean, just referencing Manhattan. Probably.
Any chance that Venom game comes back to comes back around into the fold?
If it was going to have come out, it would have come out before Wolverine. So I think that was just a thing that they suggested. But there probably will be a Venom something. The main question now is: do you do it without Tony Todd?
Yeah.
Who's Tony Todd?
The voice of Venom and everything.
Yeah,
he passed away last year, 2024.
I see.
So, I mean, they'll definitely do something with a new Venom, obviously, with a new Venom voice. But the question is whether that maybe delayed it or anything. We don't really know. A lot of the Insomniac stuff, who knows what the deal was with that. Another quick one from TK Hubworld. One of the Crub crew will have a Metroidvania in their top 3. 100%. That's Brody.
Yeah, Brody.
Yeah, Brody.
Looking through some of the other rapid fire ones before we end on some meaty ones here. Stick Brightly says 2026 will be another year of Half-Life 3 is totally right around the corner. This time for realsies, I swear. So they're saying no Half-Life 3.
Yeah, that once again leads to nothing whatsoever. And so far that seems to be fairly accurate. We know they're making it. They won't say it though. So
yeah. We might be waiting on the Steam frame to never come out now.
Yeah.
Or Steam Cube, whatever. Here's one that Chris and I will say, to. Stick also said that Sonic Racing Crossworlds gets a second season pass before the first one is finished. They just delayed a character.
They just delayed II from Super Monkey Ball to February. So if they keep pushing everything back, the possibility of the new season pass getting announced before this completes does increase. So I do feel pretty good about
likely.
Stick's prediction here. Yeah, that one feels accurate.
Kemi or Chemi, I'm going to go with Kemi, says that Sony will announce their second attempt at a Smash Bros game, which
that's a meaty one.
Unlikely to happen, but man, I would like it.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I want you
to be fun,
right.
Dude.
I want you to be right. If you're, you know what? I'm saying this right now. If you're right, I will buy you that game.
Yeah.
I think
if it happens this year, if it's announced this year, I'll buy you that game. That's
a good bet. I like that bet.
Yeah,
I think the way that you would know if that game is coming out imminently or is being announced imminently is suddenly there's a lot more of an emphasis on the history of PlayStation, like early mascots. Like you get Jack on the PS5 storefront, you get Sly's already there, but you get the old Ratchets on the PS5 storefront. Ape Escape 2 is acknowledged at all, that sort of stuff.
Right.
Because the PlayStation Classics library on PS5 does have a ton of stuff. Like it has most PS1 games that Sony has the rights to.
Yeah.
It has most PSP games that Sony has the rights to already. It's kind of just PS2 and PS3, which we're waiting for the PS6 probably to do, which probably means now not going to happen. But also the PS3 is its own era, according to a lot of people within Sony, which is why they don't acknowledge it, because it was the bad era to them. Unfortunate.
Yeah, game releases, social media, like little video documentaries on YouTube kind of stuff, right? Yeah, if you started seeing that stuff sprout up, more than likely.
They did do that briefly on, what was that channel? A friend of the podcast, the unofficial 9th Crubber Mini-Me, did a couple videos for a Sony affiliated channel like mini documentaries about Killzone and whatnot. And it was on a channel that I think only posts shorts, clips of Sony TV shows and movies now with like really bad filters.
Wow.
Crazy. Oh, like what I was talking about
like,
earlier?
Straight up what you were talking about in the 2025 reactions episode.
Go check that out if you haven't.
Yeah, or else.
Yeah, right now.
But yeah, that is a thing. I think Chris is looking for it for the show notes, so it might be below if he finds it. I don't remember the name, and I'm not going to ask Minnie because I don't think I care.
It sure isn't coming up, I'll tell you that.
It was a thing that they were paying creators to do stuff briefly for that channel, and now they just post Denzel Washington clips instead.
Nice.
So,
I mean, probably gets them a lot more views.
I think it's their most viewed video on that whole series of channels because there's a whole ecosystem of these channels. You've all seen them. You've seen the Parks and Rec YouTube channel. You've seen the Good Place YouTube channel. These all exist and they make so much goddamn money, and it's I kind of hate it.
It's the worst grift of all time.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I found out why we can't remember the name of it. The channel is called Cut Scenes.
Oh, yeah.
It was part of the Explore video essay series.
Oh. Like Let's E capital X Plore. That's a thing that they paid a couple creators to do, Minnie and a few other creators that he was familiar with. Yeah. So that's
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I forgot they put the really shitty Mario 64 thumbnail on the thumbnail of this video.
It's an approach.
Oh man,
it's an approach.
Something
like that just makes me sad. I know many put work into that video, and then it just comes out and then here's a goddamn Scrimblow font.
Scrimblow font.
Gosh.
It's an interesting approach. Yeah.
I can't wait for Killzone to become a 3D platformer. That's what we need.
That's true. And speaking of, we do have another quick one here we can probably get through because I do agree with this one. That's probably going to happen. Kemi said also a small ecosystem of indie games all inspired by the mid-aughts 3D action platformers will start. We're starting to get there.
And I'm excited.
Yeah, we're starting to get there.
What
I think,
games qualify aughts 3D
Ratchet and
action?
Clank, Tasmanian Tiger, Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter.
Scalar.
Yeah.
Scalar.
Oh God, Scalar.
Matt Mercer's Scalar.
Etc. I think it's tough because
Scrimblows come back.
Well, Scrimblows are back, but the idea is the evolution of Scrimblows into that era.
Yeah. Like Scrimblow with a gun.
Yeah, Scrimblow with a gun is a good way of putting it. And I think the issue with that kind of thing is to become one of those games, you need a glut of side content that is usually hard to make for an independent studio or solo developer. So
you also need a Glock. You also need a gun.
So you kind of need a hat in time level of ADHD to your production ethos, where no level is quite the same, but you also then still need to have a bunch of levels that are the same to set the core identity up, and it can't be too edgy, and people tend to lean too hard into being too edgy because they think that's how there's a very fine line to hit that sort of schlock with a Glock that I think a lot of indies would fail to do, going by a lot of indie game humor.
I was going to say...
Remember whenever Vexx made condoms?
What?
Vexx condoms?
Vexx?
Yeah, Vexx. They had Vexx condoms. I'm not kidding.
Do you think Phil Spencer had Vexx condoms?
I mean, I don't know if he used them, but he definitely had them.
I like when Sean hands us the evidence that he has not played Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my God, Vexx.
He was too busy playing Vexx and jorking it into Vexx condoms.
Playing Vexx, not using the condom.
God.
No, he would use the condom to like get no Cheeto dust on his controller.
Yeah, like I put it
as a glove.
It's like a Bubble Boy. No, on the controller itself.
Bubble
Boy around, like really shitty joystick drift because the sticks are just so pressed down by the Vexx condom.
Yeah, and I can't even take the condom off. It just like stuck to it now. It's just melted into it.
Wait.
Hi, Chris.
Take
Welcome
it
back.
off and your controller's just newbie.
I started reading Wikipedia on Vexx and then heard the condom stuck, and I was like, "Where am I right now?" Because it follows the main character Vexx as he searches different worlds for the Wraith Hearts to power the rift between worlds and defeat Dark Yabu to avenge his grandfather's death. Why was a condom involved in this game?
because Vexx went to the
It's
Unity
like when
dimension.
the Tasmanian Tiger killed Crash Bandicoot in that one ad because it was like, yeah, you don't need him anymore.
It's time to go pound someone and forget about your dead grandparent.
Yeah, they were giving.
Here,
I
put
think
this
they were
on.
giving out like.
It's a
Yeah, it's
condom.
hold on. Vex before you sex. Hold on.
X before you sex. All right. I was gonna say,
anyway,
like you mentioned, like the the approach necessary to make one of these work, and my hot take was that
hell?
like even in the N64 Scrimblow indie arena, I don't feel like we got that many that capitalized on that promise very well, right? That idea of a good indie 3D platformer of that era. Like I don't think we even got many from that, let alone how difficult it would be to make one of these work. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been back to these games more recently, Kevin, right? Like your I was gonna say your CAX, your Tax and your the Tasmanian Tigers, right? And
Yeah.
I know you've still like had some fun with them, but I mean, how difficult would it be to get one of those that has like a Sonic Mania or Stardew Valley kind of moment, right? Where it's like, oh, this is everything I loved about the things back then, but now it's like modern and more accessible and fixes a lot of the issues I had with those older ones, right? It seems tough.
It's tough because even Hat in Time that did kind of pull that off. Hat in Time has a handful of fans that don't shut up about it, but then usually you're just like, oh yeah. Like I don't think Hat in Time is that great personally. I think it's good for an indie game. I think it's okay. It feels okay for a Scrimblow, but a lot of the mechanics rely on you having modded levels for the mechanics to then be used in a fun way. And that's kind of the issue is there's so much that goes into this. Like even a TAC. TAC 2 was, I think, made in like 2 years, super crunchy. Like, how are you going to, in a 10-year indie development cycle with like one person and then a handful of people that come in over the course of the production or are freelance or whatever, how are you going to get that sort of energy out of it? There's an energy to those sorts of games. And I'm not saying that crunch makes those games, but you do got to be hungry sometimes. And I think that if you're fed, you're less creative a lot of the time. And not that indie developers are fed, obviously, but usually they're working another job and that job keeps them fed. So then it's a hobby. Then it's the band that you do with your friends. Then it's your D&D campaign. Then it's, whatever. So it's tough, I think. I don't know. I don't. There's so much more that goes into those into the next generation of games. To summarize, like you said, Chris, that most of the best of the previous generation of Scrimblows were either already evolving past that to begin with, or were just incredibly polished, which is usually not an indie game thing. So I don't know. It's tough.
Makes sense to me.
I'd be curious to see what happens, though, if this prediction came true. I'd like to see what games come from such an idea.
Yeah, and
Kevin,
I'd like to
yeah.
see
Wanna
what
quit my
kind of
job.
branded condoms will be available
Yeah,
going forward.
Sean did share that, and I don't like it. I'm not
you
even
think
sure I
the
can put
ink
it
would
on
wear-
the video.
Do you think the ink would like rub off?
Oh, it almost certainly ate through the latex already.
Like you
Yeah.
should not put that on. You're going to get lead poisoning.
Yeah. That is not an effective condom for certain.
I think the paint will stop it from going anywhere, but you will get lead poisoning.
Yeah.
We have 4 predictions left to close out this one. I'm going to say, Nicco, you pick one of these 4 as I hit enter on our little thing there. Pick one, and you get to read it for the class.
Let's see. Okay. I'll give Minion Man the shout out here because it's meaty. I feel that a lot of Nintendo's studios right now are 1 or 2 more years away from releasing much of anything. So while big things will be revealed this year, the first year of Switch 2 won't have the wow factor that the Switch 1's first year had. And if you haven't seen our video on Nintendo or listened to our audio podcast at the time of recording on Nintendo or seen the video if it is out, you should go do that.
It's called
we
Nintendo
agree.
Rage Bait, I think is what we're titling that one.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah,
I can't wait to yell.
Right on the money with that one.
There's
This
only
is a
5
tough
more
one.
months for Switch 2's first year to wow us. So I think
that's true as well.
Yeah.
Sean, I was going to throw it to you because I want to hear what your thoughts are on that. Because there are some Switch games, for Switch 2 rather, that I didn't know were announced, or I forgot were announced, like that new Yoshi game.
Yeah, the Yoshi
coming
game's
out in like 2 months.
Yeah, that's coming out. They have... Well, I don't know when Duskbloods is coming out. That's a new FromSoft game that's coming out.
The non-canon
That'll
one.
definitely wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I don't know if that comes out within the year that is, the Switch 2. That's the thing. And there was another game that was announced that I cannot for the life of me remember what it is. But if I can't remember it, that means it's not very much of a wow factor.
Pokemon Pokopia.
Fire Emblem.
Is that
Fire Emblem is the second half of the year, I think. Pokopia is March.
Fire Emblem. Oh, I thought Pokopia was in August.
No, that's soon.
No, they don't have dates for anything beyond Pokopia. March is the last one. That and Tomodachi Life, I think, has a date, but that's a Switch 1 game.
Yeah, so that doesn't. Yeah, so really, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm gonna play the mess out of the Yoshi game the moment it comes out, and not have a life for the next probably 5 hours of how long that game takes you to beat.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not gonna be a long game.
Yeah, but with that,
I don't have a life for 5 hours.
But other than
Sean
that, it's like
this man does not goom. This man is innocent of gooming.
That's like one play session for like a 4 a.m. Jack 2 session, and it's the entirety of the Yoshi game.
Yeah,
it's like okay.
It's from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Gosh, and I'm just sitting there like I could have just gone to bed at any point in time, but like.
I wanted to get to the meat of the game, and then I found out it's all lettuce.
I had to find out what was up with that mysterious book.
I found out what the name of that game is in Japanese. That game has an insane title in Japanese, and it's like Yoshi. So Nicco, you may not be aware of Yoshi Topsy Turvy on the Game Boy. Was called Yoshi's Universal Gravitation in Europe.
Wow.
In Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, the new one, is in Japanese called Yoshi and the Indescribable Illustrated Encyclopedia.
What didn't they like about Topsy Turvy? Was it the fact that it says top?
They've had some bad runs with accidentally using slurs in British English. So there was a mini game that used the term spastic, which is taken much differently in British English. Yeah, and so they had to recall Mario Party 7 or whatever game that was for a few weeks to fix the mini game name.
Yoshi and the sloppiest toppy.
He does get slop.
Yeah, sloppy topsy turvy. Yoshi's bottomsy turvy. Like, there's a billion routes you can go with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yoshi's a power bottom, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. Certainly, yeah.
1000%.
Sean, do you want to read one of the last 3 predictions we have?
Yeah, from Chef Kilo, the Mario movie will have a cameo from Doug Bowser, marking his last contribution with Nintendo.
That's why I thought this was predictions from last year, because didn't that movie come out?
There's a Mario Galaxy movie coming.
Yeah.
The sequel.
Crazy.
It would not surprise me if they made isn't your first name like Doug or something like that? But that might be.
Or like his dad's name is Doug. Mm-hmm. I could see that because he officially resigned or retired, I guess, as of a few days ago, I think.
Yeah. First of the year.
Like end of the year.
What did they do? Did they bring Reggie back?
No, he was the Reggie replacement. So now there's somebody else taking over.
What if it's like RD Bowser, like Reggie Doug Bowser?
Doug Bowser.
I hate that. I could definitely see that. That's a really easy one. I could also see them not even acknowledging it at all, kind of like they barely acknowledged our good friend Charles in the Mario movie 1.
Charles.
Hey, he got to play Mario's dad. That's pretty good for him.
And then he was rewarded with being fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's so crazy.
You should have tried being less old, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Benjamin Button that stuff. Come on, lock in.
We got 2 left. I'm going to read one, and I'm going to save the fun one for Chris here. This is an easy one from Kemi. Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet will release a lore book before the game drops, and that is so.
That
likely.
Feels so.
What is
that? One
what is that?
This is the
That's
Naughty
the new
Dog
Naughty
game.
Dog game with like 600 years of religious lore that they're building up for this planet. It sounds like a neat idea, if they're doing it in a way that is like Metroid Prime-y, which is kind of the vibe that I've gotten from what they've said, if it's just another Naughty Dog game, then it'll probably be much lamer than that premise. But they apparently spent like months creating a several hundred years of history for this religious cult and planet that the cult lives on.
And the thing
lore book I think could happen. Sorry, Chris.
The thing I love about this prediction, though, is that it does feel so possible, right? I think Naughty Dog is kind of at that point where you could drop a lore book and expect people to actually buy it, even on an unknown IP like this, right? Not a huge seller, but enough to justify printing a 200, 300 page book. And it just, I don't want to say pretentious. I'm not a Naughty Dog hater, but there's something about it strikes me in such a way where I'm like, that feels kind of weird and gross. And it's very funny to think about. If this doesn't happen, because like the game, they're talking like, oh, it might be 2027. Who knows if it gets delayed again? It might cross someone's mind at some point to be like, we have all this lore. Let's throw them a bone while they wait. Let's put out a lore book and see.
It'd be the most cynical way of doing it too, because you have to assume the premise of the game, from what we understand, we don't know a lot about it, is you crash land on this planet or something to that extent where you don't have your ship anymore, and you have to find out what happened to this planet that went off the grid 500 years ago, and in order to get off the planet.
Yeah.
So the idea of having a lore book instead of having that in tune with the gameplay pisses me off.
My hot take is that if you need auxiliary media to understand what's going on, you have not written a good story.
Yeah, like it's fine if it's like added flavor.
Yeah, like added flavor, world building, like extracurriculars, whatever.
But I played Destiny 1.
Just putting out a lore book, though. I think this is more just like...
I played Destiny 1.
Throwing it out there.
Destiny 1 when that came out. I don't want that again. I don't want anything like Destiny 1 in the beginning. Where it's like,
Destiny 1 was like, it was a website. It wasn't even like a book. Like you had to go to the website and collect cards to read lore.
I don't want that.
Like that's insane. If this was like, oh, here's lore that's not relevant to the main plot, but here's the third space pope and his tenure, then yeah, sure, whatever, I guess. But
yeah, like, okay, build lore, I guess, cool.
You kind of got to prove that it's worth engaging with first, even if it is Naughty Dog. That's kind of my thing, you know? But
I need a book that goes into Uncharted Sully's youth. I'd buy that.
Oh, he's going to totally be in a Papa John's right now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if they released a collector's edition thing where they had like
funny.
a Bible.
They do Subway and Papa John's.
Then I went to church with the Vexx condom and the paint rubbed off. And that's when I met Nate.
You took a hooker to Vexx condom?
The Vexx condom, the paint rubbed off. Oh my God. Well,
it's okay. They didn't get pregnant though. It's okay.
In case you forgot, Nico, there is an actual line in the Uncharted movie where Sully Wahlberg says, "I'm literally in a Papa John's right now."
And then he fights in it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He fights with a woman in that. And then he wins.
I thought he did Subway like back in the day, like with the games. In the games with what you covered. And then I also thought they did Subway in the movies still.
It should have been Subway in the movies. But I think Jared Subway ruined that for us.
Oh, I see.
Also, every time you say Sully, I know you're talking about Uncharted, but I always imagine like Sully from Monsters Inc. there instead for a second. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, Nate, I'm blue now.
Sully from Godsmack.
Our final
we have one more, Chris. Yes.
Comes from vid editor Logan. Toys for Bob's Mystery Project reveal. It's Spyro 4, releases 2027.
Didn't they already release that?
No.
Toys for Bob's had an interesting last couple of years because they were owned by Activision and therefore Microsoft, and then they got shut down by Activision as part of the merger, and then Microsoft said, actually, you can buy yourselves back to freedom and keep working on what we had you working on as an indie. And they've heavily implied that it's Spyro without saying anything.
Like sending emails to fans with like purple font when responding to like questions, right? Of like, who knows what we're working on? Oh, that kind of...
I see.
They're not announcing it, I guess, because maybe it's up to Xbox. But yeah, this one feels likely. The
year's the prediction to me. That's why I put that one there. Is whether it's a 2027 or a surprise 2026.
Right. If they're just like, hey, it's out in a month, kind of like High Guard,
It's been I don't have a higher player count than It would have a
Long
higher
wait.
player count than Higher Guard for sure.
I'm curious to
It's been
see
a bit
what they
since
would.
they made Reignited. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just like, I'm curious how close they try to lean to original Spyro, or if this isn't actually a Spyro 4 like we've all been calling it. They're kind of trying to do something new with it. It's like, I love the original Spyro games. I'd play it. I don't know how creatively fulfilling it is to make another one of those, right? But then you look at Crash 4 and it kind of strayed pretty close to the original games there. It's just, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a more rewarding swing and return on investment for Xbox's side if you don't do an Insomniac styled Spyro game, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like I've just been like on default thinking like, oh, it'll be like the original 3, but it isn't until just now where I was like, I wonder if they would try something different though, you know?
I think I would have gone the opposite way. I think the Crash 4 kind of proved you do call it Spyro 4 outright. Mm-hmm. You don't call it Spyro subtitle because you want people to see that you're confident in it as the next Spyro game. Yeah. Where if you do Spyro A Hero's Tale, that's not Spyro 4. And to be fair, Spyro 3, I don't think it's actually called Spyro 3. I think it's just called Spyro Year of the Dragon. So, you know, there's an element of that somewhere in there, but there's also a 3 on the cover. But I think my question's always been, do you think they go and do a Spyro 1 or more a Spyro 2 and 3, where they start adding in a lot of that stuff that we said earlier, where Scrimblows start evolving into Scrimblow with a gun, where you start getting the side mini games, the secondary characters, the third game problem that every game tends to have in that era.
The gun is so funny. Spyro with a gun would be...
They had
he
the
should
little
have
monkey.
like he should have a gun. Like I think
Spyro busts out the gat.
They put a little monkey in Spyro 3, Nicco, and it was like not proto Ratchet, but like you could draw the connection there, right?
Yeah.
And that'd be funny
Dude,
if they do bring that character back and then steal more from Ratchet. I think that'd be a bit worth pursuing. They shouldn't do it, but I'd laugh.
It's an interesting thing to dig through though, because like I would assume if anything they would split the difference and probably do more of a Spyro 2. But I'm guessing they would try. There's been enough time, I guess is what I'm getting at, that we got a bunch of unique Crash 4 levels that didn't feel like Crash 1 through 3 levels, but felt like they would have been Crash 4 levels. Putting aside the difficulty issue, I think that they will have learned that with Spyro, because Spyro was never hard. And I think I'm curious what 25 years of either being a fan of this material or having to have had studied it for 1 through 3, what that would do to help you from a level design perspective, because we don't have more than 1 or 2 Spyro likes. We have the Muppets game from the PS1 era. We have 5 or 6 indie games that never actually came out because the developers got into fights with each other and stopped making them. And that's it. Like that's all we have as far as like that genre does not exist. Yeah, because Spyro is a wholly unique game within the genre, and
wild.
That's what makes Spyro 4 so compelling to me. Is like even if you fail at that, like if it's like if somebody patched a Hero's Tale. Like I've heard the level design's not bad. It's just that the gameplay doesn't work.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, the minigame thing is very interesting to me, right? Because it's like, oh, you're on a manta ray swimming through rings to follow Hunter, all the way to like, oh, now you're boxing a Yeti as another Yeti, right? Like it's just all over the place in terms of quality and interesting stuff, you know, sometimes fine, sometimes not. Oh, you're jumping on blocks to make them match colors to solve a puzzle, right? Like it's real.
This is ADHD.
It's real all over the place with Spyro in terms of like what is actually compelling as a video game, especially now. So that's interesting. I guess you just do Spyro 1 and then maybe throw a bone to people who like the other characters and give them little areas or something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
like how they did with like Crash 4, where it was like, granted, everything was still like platforming though, with like even like when you were Dingo Dial and what have you. It's like, well, you're still platforming, but like little differences. Like, oh, now you have a vacuum.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, what are you gonna do with, I don't know, Hunter? You have a bow and arrow.
Whatever it would be, they will reuse the side gimmicks multiple times across the worlds rather than have one unique one, like you said, with the Yeti boxing. Because there's so much effort that goes into that in an HD game that you can't really get away with that anymore because it takes so much time and investment that unless you have like the parallel development structure of like RGG Studio, you're not going to have one guy go piss off and make his own thing for a bit and then bring that into the game. That's not how that works.
That'd be kind of cool though.
Be cool if Stuart Copeland did the music again.
I would be surprised if he doesn't. I think
that'd be cool.
I think they would shell that out. I think
that'd be really cool.
It would be.
Because I know they had someone recompose the Spyro music. It wasn't him that recomposed it, but like, they had to pay him again. Probably, I would assume.
I reckon.
He also did like an original title screen medley, so he wasn't like uninvolved, but yeah,
unless he doesn't want to do it, that's really the catch. But he seems to have liked the work.
He seems attached.
He just
Spyro.
seems like the most fun guy out there. So like, I don't see why he wouldn't want to just do that for fun.
I mean, if he was like, if he was old, if there was a health issue, like he's like, I don't want to work anymore. I can get it.
He seems pretty lively, like as of pretty recently. Like he was
He's
on
doing,
Drumeo,
like,
I think this year.
Yeah, he's
doing our
like
predictions to change that.
Symphony stuff usually lately.
Yeah, he's lively at the moment.
Yeah. So I'd like it. I'd like him to just say I'm doing more Stuart Copeland shit and throw it in. Fingers crossed.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Pinkies.
Well, that's our viewers,
that's
baby.
Boys.
That's your predictions, dear viewer or listener, for 2026. If you have any others that weren't listed here, or if you didn't have a chance to contribute, do so in the comments on whatever platform you prefer, or pop into the Discord, crub.org/join. We're pretty friendly there, more or less. Come hang out, chat with us, get updates as they come through. Or if you want to be even better about it, patreon.com/crub for hundreds of hours of bonus content, both in the video and audio realm, multiple tiers to enjoy, multiple tiers to have had, depending on the things you listen to. Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with you there, Kevin. I think that actually summed it up perfectly.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking about the Vexx.
One day we will have an outro. No one predicted that we would have an outro by the end of 2026, though. So I can tell you, at least for now, we don't have one. Bye-bye.